Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, this week I don't have any phone call or interviews to go or have, so I'm just going to be talking a little bit about the previous leading up into Wimbledon this year. So Wimbledon is started, so yay for all of the premier event there at Wimbledon in London, England, which I've been to. I went to go see the grounds a little bit, saw the museum, which was really a fun experience back in 2008. But with that, I do want to say one thing that, I want to, a lot of you that have known that I had a broken shoulder or broken bone in my arm. It is now pretty much healed, and I can now still get out and play and hit the ball now and actually even serve. So the last few days I've been out there practicing serves, getting used to the tossing motion of my left arm, and it's feeling good. A little sore, but it kind of feels more like muscle sore. So I feel good about that I'm back out. It was about a little over 2 months that I was not playing. Well, maybe not playing. I still had a sling on my arm, and I still went out and found people to hit with a little bit. They'd hit it to me. I wouldn't go for much. I would just hit the ball back to them, so they'd keep it in play with me. So that felt good to be able to at least do that and keep timing up a little bit. So yesterday I got out and I played another friend of mine, and we did a serving game. We do service game up to 10 points each. And so I was hitting the ball pretty good, serving not too good, but it was okay. So, I won 4 out of 6. Serving games. So it was okay. I did fairly decent, and then practiced some serves afterwards, and felt fairly decent with some of the serves I started getting in. So I might be able to. Oh, and I also then strung my racket, my old racket. I hadn't had strings in it in 3 years. So therefore, I strung my own racket. And so, it felt really good to be able to, with the ball actually coming off the racket, and I was able to hit the ball really well. And it was going better because I was struggling a few days ago against a friend of mine that's a young buck, and he's a really good player. And I was struggling. I couldn't hit the ball, no power, nothing. So I feel better now with a little bit better power with the strings, new string job and everything. So it does feel better. It felt really good to be out there and then hitting the ball with power on my forehand and actually staying in. So that felt good too. With that too, I just kind of wanted to cover the bases also with the tournaments leading up into Wimbledon. Right now. And this is the first week of Wimbledon that has started and has been going on. There's been some upsets and some winners. So I can get into that and kind of cover a little bit of that. But anyway, in Berlin Open on grass, Markita van der Rozofa won over Arina Sabalenka 6-2, 6-4. So she hasn't been out. She's a lefty, so she hasn't been playing very much due to injuries and everything, and came out and actually played really well on the grass court first time out. So she ended up beating Arina Sabalenka. She just took Arina's game away from her with her lefty craftiness. Of course, then, it could be that sometimes if you come back and playing a first time in a long while, you tend to forget all your bad habits and you remember just how to hit the ball. And that's maybe what happened, but who knows? Anyway, Arena lost, and then Marketa van der Rozofa ended up winning. And then with that, we had the Bad Homburg Open. And actually, American Jessica Pegula actually beat Iga Swiatek. And she beat her 6-4, 7-5. And she's been playing a lot of tennis and coming back. And she had a bit of an injury, though, that she had the tape taped on her arm and then her leg. So in around her knee area and thigh. So it could have been that she was a little bit strained in some muscles or something like that. And so she ended up winning the Bad Homburg. And then the grass court championships in Berlin, Milia Samsonova, she beat then Jessica Pegula on that one, and she won 6-7, 7-5, 7-6 with that. So, a couple of, the grass courts leading up into Wimbledon this year ended up having some really good play, and good that the American Jessica Pegula beat Iga. Iga is one of the odds-on favorite along with Sabalenka, possibly Madison Keys if her game wakes up and starts playing really good on the grass and everything like that. But with some upsets at Wimbledon, Coco Gauff in the first round lost, and then Jessica Pegula came in there and lost. And it could be that she was tired with that, but who knows? It could have been just that she'd been playing a lot, and then she just didn't have the energy, I guess, with that. And then Ben Sheldon, he came and he won in 4 sets, 6-4 in the fourth, and that was a delayed from the day before. He came in and today, the 4th of July. And by the way, happy 4th of July, everybody out there that celebrates the 4th, goes out and watches fireworks or whatever it may be. Happy 4th of July. With that too, he won in that continued match. He won 6-4 in the third. He played 3 straight, and he won 3 straight sets. And then Sinner won 6-1, 6-1, 6-3 in the second round. And then Gael Monfils, he lost in the second round in 5 sets. But he had beat Herbert Humbert the previous round, and in 4 or 5. But he ended up he's like 38, and he's like never ages. But he does play long matches, and it probably tired him out in his loss with that. Now, also along with that, Marin Cilic, he's turning back time. He actually beat one of the higher ranked British players, Jack Draper, a big crafty lefties, and then Cilic won, and he was turning back the time, and he beat Draper in 4 sets with that. And then Tommy Paul lost in 4, and Tommy Paul, it could have been the grass that was giving him trouble or anything of that nature. And then Riley, the big guy, Riley Opelka with the big serve, he lost in 4 also. And then Gregor Dimitrov, he ended up winning in 4. And then Marcus Giron, USA, he lost in 4. And then Alex Diminar, he actually won in 4 sets. So, it's kind of going according, but this year I heard that with Wimbledon, it's a little bit different grass. So it's kind of like when it's been so hot there too, it's been drying out, and then it kind of gets really slow and slick too. So it's really kind of hard. So there's going to be some people that could even more upsets in the men's and women's side with Wimbledon. But any of you other YouTubers out there, if you want to take a look at the tennis podcast, take a look at it, like, subscribe, and comment. And then you podcasters out there, you're going to hear about the racket of the week, and then I'll be telling you about that. And then if you do want to take a look at it, like, subscribe, and comment. And then with that too, if you want to take a look at it, go to my tennis YouTube podcast, Tennis Volley Talk, and be able to see the racket that I'm also talking about with that. So anyway, with everybody here, what's your thought on odds-on favorite with Wimbledon here? I myself, it still could be between Alcaraz and Sinner. Djokovic, a very close third, but Djokovic was playing very well the other day, and it was vintage Djokovic. So who knows? Maybe getting into the later rounds, he might make it. He would probably slate to play center in the quarterfinals. If he makes it past that, then there might be a chance. He's shooting for the record 25 Wimbledon, or 25 titles actually, and so with that, he might win. But odds-on favorite, I think it'll be Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, and then everybody else with Djokovic right there. So who's your odds-on favorite? Leave a comment on that, what you think, who might win. And I can talk about that next week in the second week of Wimbledon, and kind of talk a little bit more about Wimbledon and who's winning, who's not. And then with that, in the women's side, who do you think? Arina Sabalenka? Could it be Iga Swiatek? Could it be Madison Keys? Madison Keys always has such a good game. She won the Australian Open, and now on grass, her game suits the grass. So she could pull up an upset here and there. So let me know on that, on comments, and I would talk about that next week and see what everybody says on that. So with that, also, like I said, you YouTubers out there, like, subscribe, and comment, and you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment here too. With that, so with that, and today it's nice out here today, I'll tell you that. But anyway, today, right now, we have the racket of the week. Now, the racket of the week today is called the Kimmel Elite racket, and fiber reinforced is what it is. And then this company, not too much on the Kimmel company, too much as far as when it was founded or anything of that nature. Actually, the name on it is Rod Laver, who they endorsed on the name of it, Rod Laver. But I like it. It's very nice wood racket. It's a brown racket in the bottom part of the throat, and probably ash white layered around the head of the racket. And it is bamboo laminated, so kind of in between there, that part there is bamboo, and makes it more flexible, and for the head of it too. It's also probably right around about the 1960s, 50s, 60s racket, and with the strings on the bottom, and then on the top, the smaller strings here. It's actually called trebling. And with that, it was actually kind of different things that they had for it. But really, I think the main thing was just to keep the strings straight and not from rubbing back and forth. And also the way it was put in, and they knotted it with the knots on one side, and then the one side was the knots, and then one side was the smooth side. So you could spin for the serve and say knots or smooth. And whoever would win that toss, they'd be serving or choosing to serve. But it's still a very, very straight racket. With that, very sturdy. Still, you could get out and hit with this racket. Wouldn't want to hit it too hard, but you could still get out and lightly hit with this racket here. I like the way the strings on the little cloth strings that go around the racket itself is really a nice color, because it's white and gold. And so, yeah, look at that. It's white and gold. In the Elite racket, it could have been one of the little lower end rackets of the Kimmel line with this, of that nature. But, of that nature, with this racket, it's a very nice color. I like actually the color of the white with that little area right here of the brown, and then the Kimmel sign, the logo of Kimmel. And then with that too, very nice sturdy racket. I like the color of the head itself with the brown color on the bottom side of the head of the racket, and then comes down, and then the brown right here, and then it turns into the white kind of, and then the brown. It has the leather grip handle on it, still about a 4.5 grip. So it's a very sturdy racket still, as far as a wooden racket from the mid 50s to late 60s in maybe really early 70s. Then with that too. And Kimmel was actually produced the rackets, including models used by Rod Laver and Roy Emerson too. With that, and Kimmel was active in the tennis industry, particularly during the 70s, with the focus on aluminum rackets and also the wood rackets too. So they were kind of just getting into the 70s. They were getting out of the wood rackets into the aluminum rackets, and then it started out with the aluminum rackets, and then they progressed from there. So that's a very good racket. Any YouTubers, you're taking a look at it right now, comment, like, subscribe, and comment with that. And then you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket, you can certainly take a look at it. Go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and for certain, take a look at it that way with you. And let me know on the comments what you think of the racket of the week. I like doing that. And then also with that, also let me know what you like. If you like the phone interviews, it seems that you do. I get a little bit more followers if I do the phone interview with people over the phone and get to hear the enthusiasm and get to hear the tennis talk and the grassroots of tennis of this. And like I said before, my tennis podcast has kind of gone more to the grassroots of tennis with people's stories and what they do in tennis now, and also then the grassroots of how they began in their career in tennis, and then what they're doing in their tennis career right now. It's been so fun being able to get a hold of these people and being able to talk to all the people that I've been able to talk to. I do have a few other things in the fire as far as the phone interview goes. I will be getting into that. It's a possibility to get a hold of something that I'm working on, and then we'll take it from there and see how that goes. But anyway, with that, I just wanted to say happy 4th of July to everybody out there on this 4th of July weekend. A long weekend everybody probably has. And with that too, everybody get out. And if it's nice out, keep playing that tennis. And I will then talk to you next week. And everybody have a good week. Thank you.